had a much better outcome. So that's one that always sticks out to me and reminds me of how these skills actually work in real life.
Wonderful. What an amazing example. So I guess it's more of like, it was in her. It was like she needed that someone to talk and let that thing, for her to understand what was lacking. That helped, to speak it out. That that I
Yes.
guess actually it's all that she did. Like nobody else could do anything. But a wonderful example. And thank you, Shawn, so much for your time, for accepting the opportunity so, willingly and happily. So we always appreciate that. And thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Definitely, you have said about, you have already told about the how people, if they want to contact you, they can do so. And yeah, now we move on to the second, our second topic for the our ZIPINAR. And this is a little different from what we now, when your emotions are at check, now what we have to do is work. And here our topic today is how to influence SAP products via customer voice and influence portal. As a user, consumer of SAP products, there is always this question on how one can influence the decision of SAP product developments to cater to the needs of business, and will the user voice be heard by the development teams? The session brings you an insight on how you could connect with SAP development teams to provide ongoing feedbacks and learn about new upcoming features. And to give this topic the light and the information it needs, we have with us Arvind. Arvind is a certified IT professional with 18 plus years of experience. He has cross-domain and techno-functional experience from DBA, NetWeaver basis, performance expert, technology consultant, people manager, product manager, program manager, technical product owner, and functional product owner as well. He has been a speaker at SAP Tech Ed since 2011. So it's been more than 10 years now. He has been a blogger and has written reasonable blogs in SAP SCN community. We are extremely happy, and it's a pleasure to have you, Arvind. Over to you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having me invited. And thanks for the introduction. Let me share my screen. Please let me know once you see my screen.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Okay. First of all, thanks for taking your time and joining this session. As Shawn said, there is a couple of things that flows on from his session on the emotional intelligence and how it can flow on to even for the customers or partners who use this SAP products. So even in here, we take the thing how the customer reacts or how he responds to the development. So that's where we would want to have this close interaction, and then we have this SAP influence programs which has been given by SAP. The agenda, what I will be taking you through for today's session is on the customer influence program and how you could really make use of this programs which has been provided by SAP, and who can participate and how you could participate. So that would be the major thing which I would be taking you through. When you go for the customer influence, there are a couple of things which keeps on happening. Like when we go for a development of a product, what we do is we have an idea, we have a vision. Yeah. So when we have a vision, what we try to do is we try to innovate onto those part. Yeah. So we share those innovations with the customers, and then what we do is, and early adopters are there. So whenever a new product is released in the market, what they do is there are front runners who consume the product and they would want to give the feedback. Once the feedback is provided, then we see something like with a set of customers or partners, how do they feel with the product? If we see that their experience is good, then we go ahead and release this. After a lot of testing and activities, we release it to the customer. The customer adopts this, our product, and and then after the adoption is done, they try to give feedback. So this is the major chunk which we try to do, wherein we constantly try to take the feedback and ideas what the customer is using, and then we try to improve on the product, because at one shot given time there could be none of the softwares which will be 100% right. Yeah, and we cannot be addressing all the customer needs or the business needs. So what we do is we come along with the certain ideations, we share that experience with the customer adopts it, and after adopting it and working with it, they gain the experience, and that experience translates into an improvement, and that improvement again translate to a new innovation, and this cyclic way of innovating and improving the product keeps on going. And that's where we keep the transparency also. So what we try to do is we have this kind of cycle coming on to for this. So each and everything, when we have an idea, yeah, so I have the icons been representing that same thing. When we have an idea, what we do is we share it with the customer. We try to pitch in, this is the roadmap which we have for a product, and how do you feel about it? Do you see that we are in the right direction, or do you see something like more improvements are required, or is this not a need at all? Yeah, then what we do is we take the ideations, we take the brainstorming sessions into play, and after we do certain brainstorming, we collect whether we are in line of what we're trying to develop. Because then what happens is we are getting an early feedback from the customer, and with that what we try to do is shape our roadmap accordingly, so that there is a good adoption, and because it caters to the need of the customer's demand or the business demand. Yeah, so that is how we try to achieve. And for that, SAP has come along with a thing called Customer Engagement Initiative, CEI, wherein continuously we innovate, we ask questions that we are trying to come along with certain developments. What do you have the feel for it? And once they give this details, we will try to work on those, enhancing it into prototypes, and finally showcasing with the customer, co-developing or co-innovating with them, and finally we come along with a product at this level where we try to release. Yeah, so once the innovation part is done, once the interaction is done, the customers would, or the partners would like to take the beta, that is even the one which is not still released. You would like to see the awareness of the program, or experience the first hand how this would do. So you will try to use the, we give a license of 90 days trial, wherein you could consume this software. You can run your data, business data with this, wherein the beta release is given, and you can try and test. And once you're comfortable using the software, you can go for the license. So that is what we would try to do with the beta. And after that, you would want to now go, and you're the first adopters, you're the early adopter, it's got released and you would want to adopt it. So what you do is, after the product is released, what you can do is you can be the early adopter. So again, we do it with the guided beta programs, wherein in here where we define, we can go with the freestyle testing of the software, or you could have a scope defined wherein you will test the software based on certain restrictions what we have given. So that thing can happen with the beta, which is a guided beta program or a standard beta program. So, and you adopt and give us early feedback. And then once you have used the software, you try to, now you have, would have gotten hands-on, you would have gotten experience how the business runs, and you see there might be small gaps, or maybe enhancing a couple of feature functionality would help the product to be more robust. Then what you do is we use customer connection, wherein you would suggest an improvement, and this is driven completely by the customers and the partners. You raise a requirement, and along with you, if there are 5 or 6 more customers who are saying in that same release, we would want to have this feature functionality, then what we could do is we take this as a backlog, and the development team works on this. And that is what we call it as customer connection, where the improvement is given to the existing release and not the new upcoming release. Yeah. So new things, roadmap, we do it with the CEI, beta testing, that is the first hand testing, which you can do it with a scoped testing, or it can be freestyle, or then you can have the first adopter, then you can give the improvement. And when you improve, you would want to keep on checking on what SAP products are coming into the market, and how it is how the products are shaping up. So there's where you can look into the roadmaps. Yeah. So when you see at a given point, what I was trying to explain is, if you want to innovate, yeah, if you want to see a project which is which SAP is investing on, or you would want to know what are the areas it's investing, you could connect with the customer engagement initiative, or CEI, where the customers and partners discuss, we brainstorm, and then from the prototype or the discussion, we take it to our drawing board, sketch out, see the technical feasibility, take it as, and functional feasibility, take it as a backlog. That is the first one when you are trying to see. The second one is the product experience. Yeah. So wherein you would want to get a first-hand experience before it's released to the market. You would want to have your hands on, then you see these are the things which work, which cannot yet work, and you give something like the feedback. So this is something like a beta, where you have the guided beta and standard beta programs, where the colleagues in SAP also could support you in what you can test and use it. Once you adopt, you are in the early adopter care, where you can deploy it, and then finally we take the feedback. And once you start using, we have something like, if you have a gap or new functionality for the existing release which you want to go and not to upgrade, then you have improve, that is through the customer connection. Then insights are through the roadmaps, which I would share to you. Yeah, so let me quickly jump in to the demonstration of the site. So you could go for influence.sap.com. Yeah. So I'll be sharing the link. This is the link which you would be taking on to, where you can see the influence programs. And once you go on to the influence program, you will see, you can open the browser and search for influence.sap.com. It will take you to this site. And that's where we were talking about on the customer engagement. Yeah. When you scroll down, you would see something like the list of opportunities where you could log on and influence, and then you could also see the existing opportunities, yeah, wherein you can see something like different areas where the, as per the line of businesses which you are interested, you would want to go for the supply chain, or you would want to go for warehousing, on data warehousing, machine learning, blockchain, internet of things, you name it, and all the cross products, user experience, everything is listed out here. Yeah. So you could click on the influencing opportunity, and then what it does is it loads you the set of programs which I was describing about. Yeah. So you could see a list of programs which it opens up, like it can be the customer engagement initiative, it can be the customer connection. That means, again, customer connections are for the existing release, customer engagement initiative is for the new one. So you could say, you could see something like number of there could be programs which is enabled, and it says that registration will end by October 1st, 2021. Yeah, so it's open for registration. So you can log on, you can choose any of the thing which you would want to see. So you could follow, so that you could come to know if there is a new topic which has been listed out. You can see these are the list of topics which is listed. So where the area of discussion is going on, you can see the blockchain is getting discussed. So there are the S4HANA cloud related activities. So these are the many topics which is getting listed out. So in any of the thing, you could choose on any project, and you could see what are the restrictions and who could participate. You could see what is the topic all about. It would also talk on the goals which it wants to achieve out of it. So you could read out the basic goals and what they would want to have. So what is the investment? It can be a one-on-one feedback session for 1 hour, or it can be an initial call of 1 hour. This is how it would be, and which all regions could participate onto this, like people from APJ, EMEA, Americas, they could participate into this program. They can, and what kind of industries are expected, what are the user profiles we are trying to ask for people to join. So these are the details which you can see, and you can send, even say at times the partners are not enabled. So we would say something like the partners are not enabled, and at given point of time when we say yes, then the partners are also most welcome to join these discussions. Yeah. So this is the way where you could go for something like you can follow, so that next time what happens is, whenever there is a change or a discussion which you missed, let's take for instance in the blockchain you were participating and certain times you could not participate, then what you could do is you will get an email notification saying that, see, was the active part which you are having, and you missed this discussion, and you get some minutes of meeting. Yeah, and you could also connect on to the customer engagement initiative program link. This is a common deal where you can say, I would want to know more about this, and they'll keep you informed about what is happening. The similar way, the other programs is also been listed. What does happen in an ongoing way is you get to see the list of topics which has been listed, the opportunities, and then you can also look into the roadmaps. So in the roadmap explorer, you can come to know what are the new topics which is coming on. You can choose the topic of your choice. You can say, I would want to see any topic like advanced available to promise is the topic, and you can see in each and every quarter, like in S/4HANA 2020 or in the future releases, what is already planned. You could already look into the topics, and then you can say these are the things that the team or the LOB line of business is planning. You can see the different solutions which is there, and you could look and say, okay, this is the one which is already be planned. The substitution of plant-based substitution is planned, and this is when it will come in Q2 or 2021. So that's how you could look into the topics and the roadmaps, and then you can relate, okay, these are the topics and these are the influence topics which I can participate. And then you could look into the whole list. Apart from that, what it does is once the program happens, there are a couple of blocks also which gets, sorry. What does happen is there are a couple of things which happen. So as I said, there's a continuous innovation experience and adopt of sharing. The once the customer participates and works into any of the program, what happens is then we take an interview with the customer. Like for example, there was a technology from Wasp Technologies, there was a CIO startup company, there was some Transaltus from Nilgiris. There are many customers who come and participate, and then they give the feedback, they share their experience, how it was in connecting with any of the CEI or CC programs and how it enabled them to work along. So you get to see the voice of how it was completely listed out, and then it will give you the details. So more of these things are there in the blog post, where you can see that the different innovation cycles, the customer connection, the customer engagement, the guided beta, the early adopter care. So all the information is provided, and then you could influence at this point. And you could also look in your free time the way the customer would influence and how they are getting benefited from continuously participating in any of these programs, and how they take a lead apart from the rest of the competitive market, yeah, being in place. So that majorly was the thing which I would wanted to take you through from the customer engagement. And also when I come onto the last bit, you see something like even the influencing of this program is pretty quite seriously taken. So Thomas is our executive board member, and 1 month, if you're following him, you could see something like there was these kind of feedback which he had given a comment or post which was done in LinkedIn, where he said something like, uh, our developers want your feedback, and why don't you constantly involve and influence and provide a customer voice wherein we could do this kind of initiative. You can use any of the initiatives like customer influence, and in the read you could also see something like more of the insights, like these were the things which was given, where the list of new programs which is available was listed out. Yeah, so that was the major thing which I wanted to share, and wherein you could take the lead in participating in any of the programs. Like it can be for the existing development, it can be a customer connection. You could look into the project list, and there are a lot of things which is going on, which would be going on. And or you could look into the new topics with the help of a CEI or be a beta tester to test any of the things. So you could be associated to the development unit so closely that there is no marketing gimmicks over here. Yeah, you're directly talking to the customer. The customers are talking directly to the developers and the development community. So there is nothing. And these all things, as I had mentioned, comes absolutely free of cost, which is where I have said it's of no charge. You may be having a single license with SAP, or you may be working, and you will see who would listen to us. That's majorly through big customers which SAP would work out. That's not the case. It can go on to any set of customers, and you would be in a position to influence the whole product. Yeah, and also learn about the roadmap. So that's what we have covered today on the customer engagement, being a beta, or it can be the early adopter or the customer connection. So you could list on the list of products as per your need. You could connect on and influence the uh, program with your thoughts and business requirement. And SAP does listen, and then it would also share your experience with other community members so that they also take this step forward to influence on SAP topics. Yeah, so that is what it is. And you could connect with me again on the LinkedIn and also on the Twitter. So I've shared that Twitter handle and also my LinkedIn link for your reference. And I'm now open for the queries.
Thank you so much, Arvind. That was quite precise. I thought you wanted some more time. So yeah, good to go. Yeah, it's open for question answer session. So any question?
Yeah, thank you, Arvind. That's pretty good information at a high level that we usually will not get or hear much. And also, I see that you were you were also product owner for Fiori Elements.
Yes.
Yeah, that was interesting as well. So, what are the other topics you talk in general in terms of the latest technologies? And I mean, specifically for the suited for developers or functional consultants.
Yes, so I just kept this topic more generic because it's a more of a program, but majorly I deal with advanced available to promise. So this is a supply chain topic wherein you would have one of the thing which is coming in is the advanced available to promise. So whenever a customer requests for a product and the product is not available, then majorly right now what we consider it is to see an alternate product. Yeah, so take an alternate product and then give it as with the same fit, finish, and function. We try to replace it with a substitute product. So that is what we're trying to do for, it can be for a product, it can be for a location that can have a plant or a storage location. So we can, I talk on those lines, and there are topics on the BOP, PAL, PAC, which is again all a part of advanced available to promise, which is again in the planning and manufacturing space. And apart from that, Fiori Elements, yeah, that was one of the topic which I worked as a product owner, a technical product owner for the framework of list, report, and object page. And that's where we define the structure, what has to be used by the app development teams. So that was the major two topics which I can really talk on in the recent times.
Great. Thank you very much. And we'll definitely stay in touch. And SAP is
Sure.
such an ocean, and we keep learning
Sure. Yeah,
every
sure.
time.
Yes,
Thank you.
for sure.
Any other question? I see some new names here. Maitri Mohan, Sulochana, Madhu Shiva. If you're new, you can just introduce yourself. If you can unmute and let us know where are you joining from, and are you working in the SAP? I thought some of them are Arvind, your known contacts, or?
Yes, Maitri is our project manager. She works along with the same team of mine. So she's a colleague of mine. I shared her that this is the experience which is there, and she was kind enough to join this late hour. Maitri?
Hi. Yeah. Hi, Maitri here. So yeah,
Hi, Maitri. Welcome to the session.
yeah, thanks. Thanks. So as Arun mentioned, yeah, I also I've logged in from Bangalore, India, and I am a colleague of Arvind, and I work for the same product. So the advance available to promise.
Wow,
Absolutely.
that is
Thank you so much.
such a complex product, I think, because I know about the global ATP, so the APO global ATP.
Yeah.
So that was such a complicated, with all the, CIF engine and the whole architecture.
We're trying to make it simpler, Srini,
Good, definitely.
but just keeping the same functionality on.
Oh, great. Okay. Cool. Look forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, little bit, as I already mentioned, that we have our youth session, and we have these youth webinars every for older youth group from 12 years old. So they do these webinars every Saturday, 4 p.m. And this week the topic is evolution of technology. So I'm like thinking if and they are so passionate about it, they want to learn the history, they want to learn and how it has evolved technology through the years. So yeah, something they also try to find uh, uh, the the main source and then how it has evolved. So yeah, that's for our youth session. If anybody is interested and if they have kids, we do proper prep session every Tuesday and Thursdays at 4 p.m. and then we have the live webinar. So if you want to know more about that, you can email us at webinar@letustalkit.com, or you can also go and register your kids going to letustalkit.com/youth and register your youths, and then you can join the session as well. Yeah, any other question, feedback, comments? If not, then I think we will be again having another exciting ZIPINAR. And Srini did coin the name ZIPINAR, and then it is trending, I think. And we are happy, and we hope that anyone who has joined in this hour late at night, or here in the US during lunchtime, we appreciate you joining us, and hope you have something to take back from these ZIPINARs. And if you have new ideas, or if you have anyone interested to be a speaker, please get connect with us, and we will be happy to have you. And with that, we end this session. Everyone have a great week ahead, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.